Welcome back to Joyfully at Home. Today we're going to do another quick and easy recipe. If your schedule is like ours this time of year, seems like we're crazy busy and running all the time. So today I'm going to show you another no-bake cookie. Slightly different. This one has just a few ingredients, like 5 ingredients, and super simple, super easy. Great for if you're short on time, if it's still warm where you are, and you really don't want to turn the oven on. It's great for warm days. You can do this any time of the year, but it's great for those times where you want a little treat, but you just don't have a lot of time. And it's also great for coming up for Halloween parties and things like that, or cookie platters, anything like that. It's just a nice, quick, great treat to add to any occasion. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how we do it. First off, we're going to start on the stove with a larger saucepan, and we're going to start with 1 cup of just regular granulated sugar. And then we're going to add to that a cup of honey. The beautiful part of this is that honey is going to give this a wonderful flavor. Adds a lot of nice flavor to our cookies. And it's a natural sweetness. And then we're going to turn on our heat to about a medium heat. We're going to bring this to a boil, just to a boil. And when our sugar is all melted, that's when we know it's a good time to pull it from the heat. When our sugar is melted and our mixture just comes to a boil. You have a nice, kind of a sticky consistency to begin with, where it gets warm. And then our sugars will start to melt together. As you see, your mixture is just starting to come to a boil. You can see as your bubbles are just starting to break on the top and your sugars are pretty well melted. This whole part of this process takes about 4 to 5 minutes on medium heat. Doesn't take too long. And at this point, we're ready to remove from heat and throw in our other ingredients. From here, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of smooth peanut butter. You can add chunky if you like. It'll just add a little extra crunch to your cookies. But we're going to have plenty of crunch in our cookies anyway. So I'm liking to use the creamy peanut butter. So we'll go ahead and get that stirred in there as quickly as possible before our mixture starts to set. Now that you have your peanut butter pretty well stirred in here, just make sure your mixture is stirred and it's all mixed well. Your peanut butter is nice and melty in with your honey and your sugar. You'll see it's nice and smooth. That's when we go ahead and throw in our crunchy and our salty elements. You add 4 cups of cornflakes, just regular old cornflakes. And then we take 2 cups of crushed kettle chips and put those right in there as well. Then we just stir that all together. Get it all nicely coated. Make sure all your crunchy is mixed in well with your peanut butter and your honey mixture. Okay, now that you have all of your crunchy elements in here, you can see our cookies are already starting to set up kind of nicely. You're just going to go ahead and take a cookie scoop, or you can use a rounded tablespoon, whatever you like. Just grab a scoop and write out onto parchment paper, just like that. And you'll get approximately, depending on the size of your scoop or your spoons, you'll get between 20 and probably 30 different cookies. If they look like they need to be smushed together a little bit, just go ahead and do that. You just keep adding these to your parchment paper, and then you let them set and cool, and you have an incredibly yummy, sweet and salty no-bake cookie. So now that our cookies are cooling, and they're fairly cool, we're going to go ahead and dress them up a little bit. And this is completely optional. It's not something you need to do if you would rather have them just very simple and without chocolate. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate wafers and we're going to go ahead and melt them up in the microwave, again at 30-second increments. You don't want to go too far because you can burn your chocolate. Milk chocolate is a little less likely to burn than white chocolate, but it still can be done. So just 30-second intervals, and even if it doesn't look like it's melted, stir it first, because quite often the chocolate is melted, it's just still holding its shape. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to dress up our cookies with a little bit of chocolate and sea salt. As you can see, we've gone ahead at a 30-second interval, and they still are holding their shape, but you can see some are glossy. So that's when you just start stirring, and as you see, they all basically are starting to melt. They've softened, and you just stir until you've got a nice smooth consistency. So now we're just going to take our melted chocolate, because as you can see, it's a nice smooth consistency. We're just very simply with a spoon and just kind of drizzle over the tops of our cookies. You're on parchment paper, so you don't have to worry about being a little bit messy. You just drizzle a little bit over the tops of your cookies. And it just gives them a little something extra, a little pinch of extra coarse sea salt. And then it adds a little extra saltiness to your cookie. Just sprinkle a little bit on the top of each one. It'll stick to your cookie and your melted chocolate. And then you've got a wonderful, sweet and salty little treat.